Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Quick mic check. Health check on the stream. Is everything looking good, sounding good? Who's in the chat? If you're here, say hello. Smash the like button. And we will begin. Good. Yeah, fingers crossed we have a a nice smooth stream today. It's hot in here. Hold on. I see. All right. Who do we have here? We got Jay. Welcome. Odin. Welcome. I am very good, thank you. LS80. Welcome. Who else is here? We got 22. Not that many, but it's okay. Hopefully a few more. Ocean Child, Cons. Okay, cool. How's the audio? Let me just turn it down a little bit my end. That's a bit better. Alex Gordon, welcome. Alrighty. Okay, yeah, we shall begin because we only have 22 minutes to go until New York Open. Lots to cover today. So the market's been moving a lot, especially over the last few days. Ethereum on an absolute tear. Bitcoin dominance on an absolute dump. Bitcoin, pretty chill. And altcoins just generally looking very, very nice. Of course, we have NASDAQ at new all-time highs. We have the ES at new all-time highs. And we'll see how long that can continue for. But yeah, markets in general looking pretty fantastic right now. So let's just see how it goes throughout today. I don't really know too much what to discuss, really. Like, the last few weeks for me has just been a case of, like, just sit on my hands and just allow the market just to make more profit. So everything's going according to plan. Of course, I've been saying this since I've been saying this since like back. What were we looking for? What are we looking at? This total to market cap. This was back in like 2024 that we were talking about this possible scenario playing out, or most likely scenario playing out of a roundabout October 2025 bull market peak. That total market cap has just, excluding Bitcoin, that market cap has just taken its all-time high today. Ethereum hasn't quite got to all-time highs yet. Very, very close. Might do it today. We'll probably still do it this week. Although this reminds me, this does remind me a lot of what we saw like on the previous cycle where we had this mad run and you just had this, like, basically Ethereum just doing this for a little while, unable to break all-time high, and then it was just poof, and then it just exploded after like a few weeks or so. So we'll see if there are any pullbacks. It's certainly in an area where like it's looking like it could be a little overextended. This is what I mean. This was yeah, basically just nice short squeeze. So I did an update on, when was it? Over the weekend, I think it was, when we were pushing up towards these highs on Ethereum, right? And yeah, kind of just saying like, if we're going to break this high, because what I was hoping for, what I really, really wanted to see, it was here. It was here. So it was on Tuesday the 5th. That we were talking about the opportunity for that to be a big short squeeze here. And what I really, really wanted to see, because I had bids in this area, I did get front run. I wanted to see Ethereum make another low, come back down to test below that 2025, that yearly open, and to hit the VWAP that we've had since June when we've been on this nice uptrend. So I did want to see this, like, this other move down. I had a load of bids down there. and I really did want to get filled. I didn't get filled. I was short on ETH at this point, up at these highs. So I was at least able to close out of the short that I had as these lows were taken here. But I closed out the short, made some profit on that, and didn't get filled on my long. I then had to go into a long here, which I closed at 4,200. And now, yeah, here we are up even higher than that. So yeah, $4,700 on Ethereum at the moment, and doesn't really look like it's gonna be pulling back anytime soon, but we'll just wait and see what happens with that, really. So as always, let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything you want to see me cover. It has been a couple of weeks since I've last done a live stream, so yeah, I'm sure there's plenty that we can go over, plenty of charts that we can look at, plenty of things that we can discuss. And also, of course, we will be watching the New York Open in 15 minutes when that does happen. I'm gonna drink some of my cup of tea here and just see what you guys say. We've got 30 people in here now. That's a little bit better. What shall we say? Yeah, everything's very, 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 very green. Bitcoin up 1.2%, Ethereum up 6.7%, XRP up. What's this smart? Smart 2 USD. What is it? I don't know what that is. So many of these new alts. Smart 2. Oh, what? Huh? What is this? This must be some kind of index, right? I don't know. Is it an altcoin? I'm so out of touch. Let me look on CoinGecko. What is Smart 2? It must be an index. Oh well. Because look, it's got a $86.2 billion market cap. Tron, Cardano, loads of stuff up a lot. A lot. Nudge Doge when you've got a sec. Yes, Doge is something that we can just do some charting. I think today, like, there's not been much need to do any charting recently because things are looking really nice. Lows that happened in May, June, July. We're quite a way away from those now. So if like I'm in long positions, I'm very relaxed on those long positions. I've been buying dips when we've had the opportunity to have dips, and yeah, just keeping it super duper simple right now. I'm also just gonna open this. And we can mark off a few levels on the NQ before we get started with that. But yeah, Doge. Let's have a look at Dogecoin. So, first things first is we haven't come into that gap on the weekly yet. We do have a weekly level here. That's a high volume candle. So we have to be aware of that one. Let's just make it a little bit cleaner. I do like it what it's done recently. We have taken some highs today. We have taken some quite important internal highs today. There we go. And on some exchanges, we did sweep these lows. Did it happen on Woo? This is the Woo chart just because, well, I've been charting mostly recently. Some exchanges that took those lows and got a decent bounce. Of course, there was a nice confluence down there. Could have had around the golden pocket. All right. So nice confluence in that zone. I am in a long on Doge. Again, I'm not entirely sure where from. Because I've just been buying it gradually. Here. This is on the vault and in my own personal account. So yeah, long from 0.21. I think basically I was buying when these lows were taken. And then we had like nice area of support down here. So I think what it was that I was doing was just DCAing in around here and then adding on a little sweep of these lows that we got here. I do remember now. I can actually look at where I bought. Yeah, here we go. This is what I've been doing. And I have just taken profit. That's what I was doing. So buying it down here. Right? Make it a 4-hour chart. Make it line up. Where is this thing? Like there, yeah? In here somewhere. That's what I've been doing. So yeah, TP today just because we have swept some highs. Higher time frame? I don't know really what else that I can say on this. It's just really nice structure. We've had this change of market structure. Let's get rid of the fibs above, clean it up a little bit more. So we know that that was a nice area to buy. Zoom out onto the daily. Where does this take you? Do some little trend lines. So yeah, kind of break out from a downtrend. Nice consolidation, change of market structure. Realistically, like, I think this is it. Like, I'm just expecting everything to do really well. We've got a few months left until like October, November. I'm expecting things to just continue to fly. Dogecoin's one that I'm very bullish about. I wouldn't be surprised to see it reach $1. Like, I know it's kind of crazy, but if it really starts moving, then it's just like have the higher time frame in mind and just be patient. That's really what I'm doing with all of my crypto stuff right now. The only thing I'm really day trading is the NQ, and even then it's only like 1 or 2 days per week trading the NQ. I'll become more active again when it's bear market and when it's just not really easy just to sit and make money. Like right now, you can just do nothing, and you can just make money by doing nothing, just by having exposure. So I really don't have anything to say about the market because there's just not a whole lot to do. And then yeah, okay, I think there'll probably become a time where I need to become more active again during the next bear market if I want to be, without actually holding any crypto. It will just go back to day trading again, which I haven't been doing for a long time now. So I do hope that I can get back to day trading again at some point next year, once this bull market is over. But yeah, right now I'm expecting everything to go and make new highs. Doge at the moment, I mean, it could be a short term, but where would you TP on this? Because there's not really anything you would target. So if you're gonna look for a short on something like this, like I've tried a couple of shorts recently, and actually getting anything from it is just really difficult. So yeah, okay, you could take a little short position. Maybe you come down and take these lows again. Maybe it continues in this range or something like that. But at the moment, like for myself, I'd rather just take profit on my trade here. Then if it pulls back, I can add to it, and you add more size. So instead of just going in and out and in and out and in and out and potentially losing a really good trade and getting caught on the other side, which is what so many people do, right? I actually did this on the Vault with Ethereum because I wanted to be hedged in some of my exposure. I'm quite cautious when trading the Vault because it's not my money, it's you guys' money that I'm trading. I did try this on the Vault because I didn't get long on that account when I wanted to. I didn't get the chance to compound, so I didn't have a very big position. And then I wanted a hedge position here, and now that trade is under. So that trade's at a loss right now, but I've got all this other long exposure that it doesn't actually matter. So what am I saying? Yeah, you just, by trying to short something like this, like, yeah, okay, Doge right now, it has swept some highs. It's at the 618. Maybe we could expect some further consolidation. But you do run the risk of, if you're already positioned well, like for example, if you like go back to Ethereum again, if you're in Ethereum long here and you switch short here and then you just have this melt up, you can't get back into a trade at this stage, so you're missing out on all of this, and then you could give back everything you've already gained from trying to short it. So I just think when you're in this kind of market, just think about just trade in one direction, long, because we're in a bull market, and wait for the opportunities for that, because then the worst case scenario is you're flat, right? You're not going to lose money if you're flat waiting for an entry, and then look for a good opportunity to take a long. So let's say if Doge was to drop back down here, take out these lows, I would look for that long, and then you can target something up here. But the way things are at the moment, if you're looking for a short, it could just go brr, 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 brr. And then not only if you missed out, if you're long from lower and you've gone short and then you're taking a loss, and then you take a loss here, and then that trade is basically you lose all the profits from that trade, but then you're not going to be able to get back in again. So I'm waffling. That's just the way that I'm thinking about things at the moment, and just looking for dips. So anytime there's been a pullback, like every time there's been a pullback, I've just been looking for long exposure. So 100%, like at the beginning of this month, I was adding. Then we had this higher low and I was adding again. Then we had the pullback the other day and I was adding again. And that's all I'm doing right now, is just adding exposure until this trend breaks, until everything breaks, until Bitcoin dominance, until Bitcoin dumps and Bitcoin dominance rises with it. We start to lose bullish market structure. It's just adding on dips right now, and that's it. So yeah, I don't know about targets, but in a weird way, how hard this market's been for such a long time, I think we're almost looking at it being the opposite right now, because some of these altcoins, if you're still in it, right, or if you're still around after what's been such a brutal bull market for altcoins so far, the amount of upside, the potential here for upside on alts is just insane. You can almost pick anything and look at it as being a really good potential reward that outweighs the risk of any trades that you're taking. So yeah, that's long story short, just buy dips and don't try and trade too much. Tea's gone. Okay. Can you check, please, Solana, any retest area you see for it buying or shorting? Yeah, I'll have a look at Solana in a minute again. Solana is another one that I've just hit TP on today. basically I've taken profit on a ton of stuff just because we've taken these all-time highs. So I just went through all of the trades that I have open, and I'm just closing, like making it a round number. If I have like 300 contracts, then I'll close 100 of them, or just whatever, make them a round number. I'm not being too whatever on it right now. Right, Solana. Yes, this was the idea on Sol. Again, kind of similar situation. I did buy in here, and it went below my entry for a while, because this is what we were looking at previously. And if I have a look at Sol, the thing with Solana, I was already, this was adding to a position, adding to a trade. So compounding Solana. So Solana, I started buying, or I went long when it was $100, and I've been compounding it. So my average now is at 150. So yeah, we went long when we dipped below $100. Adding. For me, I think, yeah, bare minimum, what I'm looking for, at least for this trade, is like $220. So what you've got there, again, it's a similar kind of thing, right? I don't see any reason why this won't go up to the next area of potential supply. So we've cleared through this. I'll keep this area on here because this could be support later, especially if we have, maybe adjust it so this would be support later. But yeah, gap on the weekly, 618 golden pocket, some highs up here. So $220 looks really nice. So if you're long Ethereum, I think TP around $220. Then if there's a pullback, right, below these lows, below this weekly, this Monday low, okay, because we haven't actually taken out these Monday lows. Didn't happen on the Tuesday. Yeah. So you have these Monday lows. Did that take out that low? It didn't again. So look, you've got imbalance down here. You've got like some equal lows here. So if there is to be a pullback and a nice dip, then back down to around about 170 would be a good target. Be a good place to try another long, I think. So let's say we make it up to 220. We dip. We get a bounce here. We maintain the structure of low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. Can continue this on. And yeah, that'd be quite nice. You're taking out, if it happens next week, you'd be taking out a previous week low, which would be really quite good. So you could set up for a trade, and your risk is really quite low here. There's no reason really why we should be taking out these monthly lows. And then if you have come up here, you'd have something like this if we don't already take these highs. Well, then really, you can just go, oof, get like all of this from it. And then you're at all-time highs again. So Solana to all-time highs. It's something. And even then, you could keep quite a tight stop. You could widen the stop. Just continue to. Yeah. Oh, New York Open. Okay, let's have a look. This is going to be really tough to trade because we've opened at all-time high. Let me just hold on. Let me get my iPad in case I want to take any trades during this, because I can't do it on my laptop when I've got screens open. All right. Okay, so straight away, London highs have gone. And another high. Is there anything? Let's go 30-minute. In case there is to be a big drop. Okay, so we'll be looking here. We'll be looking at London lows. And that's kind of it. That's it. 5-minute. That's it. 1 minute. Wow. Flying. Let's just run the VWAP from the open. Set up paper trading as well, so I can do some paper trading on here and some real trading from my iPad if there's something really obvious. Just set an alert on those lows. It's going to be really difficult, I think, to trade the IB because we are opening at all-time high. Oh, what else can we do need to be aware of the big ass gap that's below. So let's just mark the gap. Okay. That is a huge gap up. So the last time we gapped up was last Thursday. We also gapped up on Monday the 4th. That continued on higher and never filled that gap. So from we have a gap here, a CME gap on the NQ from the beginning of the month. And that hasn't been filled, which is interesting. But yeah, that's quite a quite a massive gap to start the day. All right, let's go back onto electronic trading hours. There's your first test of VWAP. Let's see if it holds. So if we're really bullish, that VWAP's going to hold and we're just going to cruise on to new highs again. If we're not, then we're going to break and we're probably going to start testing back into some of these imbalances below. Ethereum, we need to set an alert on this all-time high because it looks like we could get it today. Could get it in the time that we're live here. Okay, I would be tempted by a long straight away on the NQ. Because you're either going to hold this VWAP or you're just going to get stopped out down here, and then you just wait for a range to trade. So for a first trade of the day, I missed it. But for a first trade of the day, along from VWAP when we're looking at trending, makes sense. Try again. I mean, it's having a go here. What you don't want to see is it start to curve down. You know what? If it just takes out that low, all right, I'm gonna just try. What the hell is that slippage there? Why did it do it there? But you get the idea, right? Because you either get stops on this trade and then you just wait for a range, or you just go for new highs, and you kind of got a one-to-one, and we have the potential for a nice trend here. And if the VWAP doesn't hold, then we're looking bearish and we're looking at quite a lot lower. So why not? In fact, you can just leave this as a runner. This is the thing, like, don't set your TP here. If you go and make new highs, then just move stop up to here, and you might have a runner for today. Because if we're not going to get a range to start the day, then just trade the trend and just keep this trade going. So there you go. If there was a couple of contracts here, let's close it, right? And then let's add back on, because worst case scenario, right? There you go. So if we dip again, but I think we're looking at a trend now, right? At least to begin with. All right, there's the dip into this gap. So let's go long again. Oh, it stops here. That was a poor entry. The slippage on this is disgusting. No, this one's not going to work out then. Likely, because you've just inverted this. A little bit greedy on that. Trying to do it twice. So it looks like it's going to be one win, one loss. And then maybe we do have a range. Do I get away with it? All right, let's get out of this break even. Do I want to? Or not bother? I don't know. I don't really know what to do with this one. Still kind of thinking we could have a range here, we could have a trend here. We've already got one win from that VWAP. So it's we did this last weekend. We took like 7 identical trades. I did this in the trading room. And this is just a really disgustingly bad entry. So I could have just got out break even then, but we will see. I'm waiting for this to do something. Oh, there's so many opportunities to get out. All right, let's see what. Can I close it? We'll call that break even. Not worth the risk. So we had, yeah, plus 350, negative 25. It's cool. I mean, I'm tempted again now that altcoins are dumping like crazy. Are they? Yeah, ETH just taking out highs. But you still got to be looking for longs. So Ethereum is the one to be trading right now. If you want to day trade ETH, I think the liquidity is definitely there. So you can try scalp longs down here. Down here. But yeah, dumping like crazy is a stretch. But that's why we take profit today. That's why we took profit. I mean, even right now, long Ethereum. I mean, let's do the same thing, right? Let's just enable trading on any asset we can. Because I think everything you can day trade at the moment. We have the volatility. The fact we got this pullback. This is better. So it was a good job I did get out of that trade there. So you can see how it flipped from, you had the SFP at the highs, right? Create this inversion. Yeah, so you have low, high, okay? You have this imbalance. If this was bullish and going to make another high, this would hold, and then we'd be continuing on to new highs. The fact that it didn't, you're then targeting these lows. They've just been taken. And now you have these imbalances. So we could be looking almost, we could be shorting this now. But there's the potential for this to now have formed a little range. So we're not trending. So we are ranging, which is actually good. So ETH, right? Here, yeah? Just use it as an example. If you're day trading this, there's no reason why you can't just be scalp long and still aiming for this all-time high. I know it's kind of ridiculous, but the risk to reward with this low is still there. So if you go long, right, stop loss here, you take profits all-time highs. Yeah. And let's see how this holds up. I'm not convinced by those lows. But let's give this a go. Now the idea here is I don't think we're going to break down that easily today. Did I get filled? Yeah, okay. So long again, NQ. I want to see more of a reaction than this. This is a bit risky still. But all I'm doing so far is just, if this trade loses, we're just losing the trade that we did at the beginning of the session. Because we had one win already. One nice win. One break even. There's an extremely high probability that during the IB price comes back here. But it's just whether this range holds or whether we are going to start to seek lower prices. I just don't think we're going to break down that easily here. There we go. That's better. That's better. That's close enough. You take the money when you're a little unsure. I guess it's that close to the midpoint. And the ETH long. Okay, similar kind of thing. Decent reaction. The entry wasn't great here because I'm just looking at it after it's already happened. But that would be, yeah, so there's your TP, you're back to the midpoint here. So yeah, we just have a range to trade now. So if you come back up towards these highs, shorts. If you come back to these lows, long. This is just what we do. This is what we do every time we do a trading room. And last week, what was it? Six wins, 1 loss. And they were all like the same trade. So we just buy the lows, sell the highs, buy the lows, sell the highs, buy the lows, sell the highs. Well, buy the lows, take profit in the midpoint. Sell the highs, take profit in the middle. Buy the lows, take profit in the middle. Sell the highs, take profit in the middle. Until this breaks. Being aware of where your VWAP is for this session. So it had been support for a while, resistance for a while, but it's not really doing anything at the moment. You just have a very flat session. It's just chop, and chop is the best thing to trade. When it's just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, it's the nicest thing to trade. Because there's just no emotion involved. It's just like, oh, okay, cool. Here's the range. Long here, short here. Easy peasy. Until we get invalidated. And there's Ethereum bouncing already. This is the thing, when you're day trading and you get a reaction like this, like, you can close the trade. You get some profit and you come back into what could be resistance. It's fine. You might come back down here again and get another opportunity to trade that. So there's another one. You swept those lows. Go for it. Try along. Maybe you break market structure, you start dropping, but why not? Liquidity is just everything. That's all you need. You sweep a low, cool. You're going to bounce. You just need the reaction. Bitcoin. Again, we can probably be day trading this. Like right now, can probably short this. Yeah. Because BTC, we haven't really taken any low, like anything. You just have this same thing. So, but let's be a bit sensible. Let's not just go crazy with this. But these are... Where's your single print? You have single print here? No. Okay, let's give BTC a little bit of time to do its thing. So this will be Bitcoin dominance rising. Good. Where's the NQ at? Whew, this is getting... Those are some big candles. There is a battle, for sure. Honestly, Bitcoin short is not the most ridiculous thing in the world to be looking at here. So much volatility here. We're going to lose these just because if I'm not looking at it, I don't want orders just there, sat there. ETH again. See, this is the thing. This is why you take profit quickly. You can long it again from here. Yeah. So if you think this low is going to hold, you've got another chance to long towards these highs now, having just taken out that low. Let's give this a go. Short Bitcoin. Stop at previous day high. See what happens. Right? Because you just hit single prints. So again, you just want the reaction. This is just scalping. But I am just playing around right now. So be aware of that. I'm flipping around like crazy. I haven't day traded Bitcoin in a very, very, very long time. But you get the idea, right? And just because it's just paper trading, I'm just going like one contract per trade. Whatever it is. So sometimes you'll see some massive P&L, but we don't have time to think about risk when we're here, because there is no risk. This is actually, I really don't like these equal highs because you have poor highs on the day yesterday. This is a really bad trade, actually. No, I'm not thinking like if I get out of this. If this comes back down to entry, I'd just get out of this because you got poor highs from yesterday. This thing, I'm out of practice with day trading Bitcoin. I haven't done it for a long time, and I'm just like, oh shit, yeah, of course these highs are gonna go. So let's just see if this drops back down to where we want to get out of this. Hello. Hello, NQ. We're back down at range lows again. Woo! Ah, is this Trump talking? So there's the gap. So imbalance down here. This was a 30-minute, 15-minute. Is Trump talking or something? I know he is due to talk today. So maybe this is what's going on now. There you go. Made some money again. That was a bad trade, but profitable. Alright, we'll focus on NQ. So what happens if I just buy it? just playing right now. There's always fixed risk. No. So we have $300 is the limit for what I'm willing to lose on something like this. At the moment, I have lost context. I don't really know where we are, what's going on here. I need to zoom out, but let's just wait for price to come back up here, because we are still within this first hour, so all of this should still get corrected, right? We should still just keep on chopping for a while, and like I say, I don't think we're going to break down that easily. Right, you're taking out that high, so there's imbalance there. And this is just, yeah, repeating, like, scalping is just about making sure you get paid from a trade. And that you just have very, very strict risk. So for my risk per contract on the NQ, because I know my average win is around about $300 per contract, then my risk is going to be the same as that. But I'm going to take the same trade again here. I'm going to long it again. And now I can use this as my stop, because I think that's quite a nice low we've put in, if there's a nice entry. And then again, you just want the same reaction. I don't want to see it come back up here before I get long again. I want to see it in here. I just want to get as close to this low as possible. Sol's looking good. Oh, nice chop there. Okay, here we go. Oh, did I miss it? Okay. Every time I look away just for a minute, I miss the entry. Come on. Come on, stay down here. Stay in this box. This is the box we were looking for earlier. This is where we want to be looking at longs. Just stay in there. Don't start pumping. I need another red candle. There we go. Right. Lagging. Why is there so much lag? Too much lag. What's going on with my internet? This is the problem with streaming. This is why I can't trade. Look at it. Ugh. Gonna get away with it or not? Nope. Okay. So now let's zoom out, see where we actually are. So what was that for a Still up like $800. So this is now when we just have to wait for things to settle down. Clean up the charts a little bit. Start to look at what context we have from earlier on. And just don't chase. So Lucifer, you say altcoins are dumping like crazy. 10% of portfolio poof gone. How much leverage do you have if 10% of your portfolio is gone from I mean, basically, you're at the same price as you were 2 hours ago. So if your portfolio is moving that much in a couple of hours, I hate to think how overexposed you are right now to the market. Whew. It's been a whole 2 hours since prices were last here on Ethereum. It's been a... Leverage is irrelevant. Position size, however. Okay, I hate to think how much margin you are using above your available margin, because there's no way your portfolio can be swinging 10% in minutes here unless you are leveraged. Because it's a 2% move. So you must be you must be really risking a lot. Or you're just messing around, which in that case is absolutely fine. Alright, let's see what we can get on the NQ again. So we're waiting for a decent low. We've just gone into this grind now. Had this impulse down. Now we just have this grind. Messing around, but please brighten up my day charting UPXI. Let's have a look at UPXI. The internal lows from London are looking good. Yeah, that's here, right? These are your London lows. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we swept London highs, so why not go for London lows? And oh, and these. Yeah, there's a nice... I mean, this whole area here... looks like something you could be buying. So as it comes down there, don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't. We do not want to see it break above here, because that would be the take profit for any longs in here. So please do not hit red box chart. Please do not do it. Because then we lose our TP. No! dump. Shit. There goes the TP that we would have had if we had been longing from here. So now you just gotta all or nothing. Poof. Go all the way back, rotate all the way back up to the top of the range again. If you're looking for a long here, which is fair enough. Is it worth it? Because that is a nice, like, run all these stops. It would be very nice. He's still... Just see if we can catch one more long. And then I'm going to chart some alts. Press the wrong button. Whoops. I don't like what it's doing now. It's a bit choppy. Can't trade this anymore. Ah. Gotta wait for these lows. Gotta wait for these lows. Should we go for the internal lows or go for the London lows? If we get one more dip. I think if we take the London lows, I think it runs on it for a little bit. So I would be inclined to go for those internal ones. More so than wait for London low to get swept, because if we do take London low, I think it does run on it. And we drop a little bit lower. So you could just go for a real tight stop, just quick scalp, and just... on first attempt at breaking London lows, just be like, right, I don't think it's going to happen, but let's see. I reckon we've got a long here, right? So what we're saying is we don't want London lows to go. So you just keep a real tight stop. And just look for any kind of reaction to make money from this. Just get out of the trade quickly. Because it still seems likely that those London lows are going to go, but the fact that we've just swept probably enough stops, and it could be such low risk on the trade, makes it worthwhile. That's the thought process. It's not really the kind of setup I like to take. I like to trade chop, and I'm not liking any of this price action here. But I want to give it a go. I want to see if the NQ is just its typical naughty little NQ where it doesn't actually sweep the lows, at least not yet. Maybe later, but at least not yet. And that's the thing, it's just such low risk. What's it gonna do? Bruh. It's not even moving from where I had my entry. I don't even know what's going on, it's so laggy. Okay. See what it can do here. That probably should have been the point in which to close it. Just because you're coming in here. But just wait and see. This is more just out of interest for this trade. Well, this idea that you at least get a bounce before taking a session low. Nah. You did get a bounce, but then I mean, we've got equal lows again here. That stop's going to get taken. So this should have been where I hit TP or close the trade, just as you took that high. I mean, the trade's still there. We're surviving it by a single tick, just because I placed my stop one tick below London lows, and we have 3 equal lows. So this London low is just, we've hit it 3 times and not broken it. It's just so typical of what the NQ does. It's just stubborn. It's stubborn when it comes to liquidity. We've got away with this twice. So again, there's another opportunity there that you could have just closed out of the trade with profit. But I just want to see, this, see what happens here. And just see how stubborn it can be. And just see if these lows hold, and if this does become something bigger that can come all the way back up towards these highs, because that would be pretty crazy. Fair. Put in one more green candle, and then we can move the stop up here, essentially to break even. Because then you've got this, but it has to be a green candle now. We are really pushing our luck on this one. We got lucky on 2 occasions. But something tells me you could just, if you get away with it like this, it's like, well, why not just see where it goes? I really, that low is not gonna last though. But we only have 15 minutes left, and there should be a bounce back up here, right? Before the IB ends, there should be a bounce back up here. It's just whether it goes before taking this stop or not. What should we do? What should we do? Is anyone else long from here? Because I know you guys often follow this. I'm being super greedy now. I really, there's 3 chances to have closed this trade. But I just want to see what's happening. When you just get that feeling that, right, you didn't get stopped. So something. Is there a reason for that? Is it gonna stay like Edwin's long? Good. Still holding it, being brave. See, what's really interesting here is because it's such low risk, I just don't know if it makes sense to close. Because if you can come back within value area of this VWAP and it starts curving up, then yeah. We've got 12 minutes left of this session and there's still a very high probability that we end up closing the IB up here. It's a very high probability that we get a bounce. It's just whether these lows stay for now. So when it's like this, just see what happens, right? What I don't want to see is it rolling over. It's interesting. Let's stop watching. Ethereum pulling back. Bitcoin pulling back. So you've got these equal highs on Bitcoin. You've got these equal lows on NQ. You've got ETH. You've got... ooh, now altcoins are dumping. So now you've got opportunity. Right. So yeah, after this IB, we can have a look at some alts, because if there is going to be a nice little flush today, which would be very, very good. If there is going to be a little flush, then that is opportunity again. I think I have like a hair in my ear, really itchy. Hold on. I still want to keep like scratching my that. Where's my water? Just stop to break even here and just see what happens with it. Yeah. Took one more off of the high. Good, good, good. Yeah, this is just like, because you're still just testing this, like this VWAP value. Oh, you know what? Can I move my stop back down? I don't want to go. I can't move my stop. Come on, come on. Go on, just get a bounce. This is just more for the stats now. More for the... This is like a journal entry trade. So A does the IB clean up the imbalance from above, because we did have quite a big impulse lower. So A does the IB clean this up. B does this stubborn little like session low hold, because we have taken out London highs. So this is like statistics for if we take out London highs during the IB, do the London lows go? So you can collect stats on that. And as at the moment, London lows have not gone. I've not even looked at the ES. So where's session lows on the ES? Way above. ES is looking still really strong. It's just the NQ. It's almost like the ES is being Bitcoin right now. All right, looking really strong. So the S&P 500 is acting like Bitcoin, and the NQ, being a bit of a dump back towards those London lows, is acting more like Ethereum. Right, so Ethereum back down towards London lows, whereas Bitcoin right up at previous day high. That's interesting. I don't want this stop here, but I can't move it away from my stupid entry. No. Ugh. Still wanted to keep it at those. You know what? There's so much opportunity. I didn't want my stop loss to move. That was stupid. Now it's going to take the lows. Okay, it's a good job I did. Right, so there goes the London lows. They have finally gone. Finally. Now is that enough to get a bounce? Because we only have 6 minutes remaining. And we should be going for the... We should be coming up here. I've got too much lag to really see what's going on. That's it. Dip a little lower. Run on it a little bit. I'm just looking for some fast movement. I don't know if I'm going to get it because of the how slow this is moving. I think there's too much lag here for me to snipe this. Didn't even fill. There we go. I'm going to let this one go. Just to see. I don't even know what I'm doing at this stage anymore. I've lost all context. And it's so slow. This movement, and I don't know what's happening. It's just this. It's just this. We have this gap fill. I think I've been flapping around. This is the nice thing about when we do the sessions on Zoom. It's really hard to do the live trading from a laptop on YouTube because everything is so laggy. Whereas on Zoom, it's nice and smooth. Smooth and nice with no delay, no lag. Kind of wish I was back. If I'm going to do live trading like this on YouTube, I need to be back in London on my beast machine, not on my laptop. Yeah. But I wanted to do YouTube today just because we have ETH so close to all-time highs. Where's my stop loss this time? I mean, this is the thing when it's a trade like this. I mean, yeah. There's my risk. Let's see what happens with it. I did just say I want to let this run and see how bad it can get. Are we up on the day? I mean, P&L for this session is like plus 800. So... and this is the gap fill. This is an example of how not to trade. The end of this, because here, okay, here goes the end of the IB. There really should be some kind of bounce. It's so rare that you have a initial balance that closes at the extreme. And if it does do that, there we go. That could be a low. That candle right there was a nice one. What that just did. But let's see. We forget that this is here right now. But if I was going to scalp, that low that just happened was the one that I would have wanted to just get into. Yeah, ETH bouncing now as well. Let's turn off these market sessions. We don't need them. Bitcoin, what's BTC dominance doing? Falling back down again. So that's, okay, that's your initial balance over for New York Open. So it's really interesting to see what happens here because you did close that IB at an extreme, which doesn't happen often. We can go back to yesterday and just show you. It's very rare. Okay, so yesterday's IB closing back in the midpoint. And this is what I mean. All imbalance yesterday got corrected. Okay, you had the move up, the move down, you come back into the midpoint. You come back here, you go to Monday. This one a little bit more like today, so you did just have this move down and then but the initial balance ended and then you go to seek any imbalance that was from the session before. So I did say, didn't I, that because we are at all-time highs, it's going to be very, very difficult to trade. Because there's just so much speculation, so much going on right now. But if you wanted to be really like, forget the position size on this. This is where you'd be looking to, for any longs. And because that is the risk for this trade, this would be something more to take on like micros, right? So you could scale into a long position looking for this move back up. You know that there's a gap fill here if it drops a little bit lower. So we'll forget the position sizing here of this being like more than one contract, because there's plenty of like just give this a little bit of room to breathe. Because actually by having longs beneath those session lows, it's not bad. And you're filling this gap, right? You go to regular session trading hours, and you are coming back in to fill this gap. So there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with targeting longs here. ES has taken out the initial balance low. NQ has not yet done so. Has it? Yes, it has. Yeah, NQ has taken out session low. So the chance of the high being in for the day is like now like 65%, but it doesn't mean we can't come all the way back up towards these highs and then short it back down again. I still kind of like longs on ETH here. I still think this is a good flush. Now, it's not a lot when you zoom out, it's really not a lot. But for today, I think it looks quite nice. I think the way it's dropped down here, would have hit some liquidations, would have hit a nice like, loads of stops. I still think there's a real good chance that this pushes up towards that all-time high. But we'll see. Okay, what else do you want to look at? Freebie, Resolve USDT. What's that? Resolve. It's quite a nice looking chart. So we'll just be chilling at point of control, right? Yeah, these kind of things, if we're going to go into alt season, something like this, where can you trade this? Resolve. Is this on hype? Oh, Resolve is on Hyperliquid. You know what? I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy some of this. Just for the simple fact that you had a drop of 70% after launch. This reminds me of, was it Virtuals? Like this, I mean, this had a pump, but then you drop, and now you just looks to be reaccumulating really nicely. Similar kind of thing. Also, like, is it IP USDT? No, I can't remember. I can't remember what it reminds me of, but something. Yeah. Resolve. What is Resolve? Home USDT. This one looks like Tron, right? TRX. See, same thing. Which, finally, after being in a long since April, is at target almost. It's like the same thing. It's just T-wapping. Is that another Justin Sun coin? This home one. Look, they're so similar, right? Home, TRX. It's like exactly the same. Looks like exactly the same chart. People in the vault, I'm buying some of this resolve token. Just because. Why not? Why not? This looks very, very stable around here. I forgot that we still have this. Double the vault, I can't deposit anymore. Yeah, I'll add some more. I think I'm reluctant to do it until, like, what I don't want people doing is depositing into the vault when, like, total 2's just taking out these highs, and I think we probably find that some unrealized P&L, at least for the next few days or so, might drop. So you don't want to be buying high. If you deposit into the vault now, then you're essentially buying high because it's mainly long exposure that's there. So yeah, I'll open it back up for deposits again when we have a dip, because otherwise it's just like, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. You don't want to be buying high. So I'm going to force everyone to not be able to buy high by keeping it locked for a little bit longer. I don't know what to, yeah, but I like this. Fresh deposits shouldn't increase open positions. No, they won't. But what it will do is it means that if you, like, let's say, okay, this is what the vault P&L, right? If you deposit into the vault today when it's just hit all-time highs, yeah, then you're starting from here. So it doesn't matter that we're up, like, it's gone from $500 to 10K in, like, the space of 6 months. Because if we drop back down here, you're going to be like, if you put in 1K and then we're at like however much percent, we're at like 30% unrealized P&L, and we drop 30%, then you're going to be at 30% loss on that deposit. So yeah, you want to deposit into drawdown. Always deposit into drawdown. Drawdown. Luke, please use total 2 ES instead of total 2. It's a new pair that removes the stables. It didn't make an all-time high on total 2 ES, so not sure how legit your resistance line is. Thank you. I will do that because that is very, very nice. Let's have a look. Yeah, let me save this to the watch list here then. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, so total 3 ES will be excluding ETH and stables. The amount of space that altcoins have to run is absolutely ridiculous. Crazy. Okay, I think I might wrap this up here. I think I might wrap this up here. If anyone's interested in, because yeah, as I say, normally we do this on Zoom in a trading room, and it's a lot more thought out. Like it's a lot more sensible than just pissing around here. Yeah. Yep, I'm gonna leave it. Okay. I will be back again very soon. I'm gonna, yeah, maybe stream again tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know how things are. Like, so busy at the moment with all this stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, and I will see you again in the next stream. And let's see if Ethereum can go make a new all-time high today, because I really like this little sweep that we've had during the session open. So let's see if that's enough just to push it on to that new all-time high. So yeah, thank you everybody, and I will see you again very soon. Bye bye.